Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Compact Claustrophobia. So, since the last episode, it's been a little bit of time. I know I had mentioned prior that, let's see, first up, Shadowlands was coming out. So, I took a bit of time just to enjoy Shadowlands, go through the story. I actually hit max level the first day it came out. I mean, I didn't sleep for like 3 days, not even joking. Well, I slept about 4 hours after the second day, but yeah, it's not enough sleep to really count too much. So, got really pulled into Shadowlands. Excellent expansion. I've been recording some footage. I've started working on kind of an episode to put together for you guys to just kind of highlight some of the aspects of Shadowlands. There's a lot in that expansion, and for it to only be in phase 1 of the expansion, raid not even out until next week. And yeah, it's been amazing. I've had a blast with it, and getting revved up and ready for raiding come next week. So, anyway, spent a few days working on that, and got leveled, got into the mall, got my Torghast runs, got my weekly mythic runs, and my weekly mythic runs for this past week, and just having an absolute blast. It's so much fun, and honestly, the best expansion, in my personal opinion, the best expansion. Everything worked out extremely well. Covenants, I think, are great, and it's just an all-around good expansion. So, anyways, I had that, and then, of course, it was Thanksgiving. That coupled with my son's schoolwork. My grandmother had surgery, and and then we had to work on the shower because it was leaking, and so we spent a few hours one day working on that. Couldn't have done it without my dad's help. He's like super handy, so I think he did most of it, but I was like moral support, So anyways, very busy, very busy past couple weeks. But I have gotten a little bit of prep. You'll notice we're actually in a new 5x5 here, with a bunch of strong boxes. I moved pretty much all of our storage. Oops. That is another, by the way, that's another power system here. A second full out power system. But if we pop out, this little room is pretty much the same. But our storage room is just about all wiped out. And let's see, the compact room, there's barely anything in here either. It could really be broken down at this point. And this is a farming room that I've been using. I went ahead and set up another 5x5. And actually underneath all of this is the fertilized soil. So it's boosting the crop growth up here. So now that we have our 5x5, I've got bonsais planted. I've got a little bit of hemp, just 2 plants, but we don't use it that much. We've got our wheat, and then I've got 4 sugarcane planted here, just to help us out a bit. And since this grew, I'm going to go ahead and break that off. Trying to build up a small stockpile of sugarcane. And over here, I have gotten a lot of stuff prepped up. This is all pretty straightforward. Hoppers, chests, which you actually probably won't use as many hoppers as what I made, but that's all right. Also made a vacuumulator, because these things are super cheap, and we're going to be actually using it for our setup that we're going to start working on. Even though we do have to do just a little bit of working towards it, but it's not too bad, I don't think. Crescent hammer. I've made a few caches. We're definitely going to need more. I made some hardened upgrade kits. Probably going to end up needing more, or wanting more. Igneous Extruder, which we're going to go ahead and pull that out. We're going to be using that here in just a moment. Flux ducts, auto clickers. We've got the sequential fabricator and some pattern validations. Probably long term end up needing more of those, but for right now that'll be fine. Some auxiliary reception coils, a couple redstone furnaces, and a few of the smaller compact machines. Our goal is getting it to where metals are not an issue. So crafting small compact machines and onwards, not a big issue. Be even easier once we have auto crafting. But for right now, if we just get to where we have just infinite metals being processed for us, then we'd be in a really good spot. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this Igneous Extruder. I went ahead and made this because we can't actually get pulverized obsidian Well, we can't break obsidian very easily right now. There is a couple different options that you can do. I was messing around, playing around in the test world, and one of them is going for the platinum pickaxe, because you can actually pull this off. Platinum, you can get these right here. It's only going to be, like at best right now, a 4% drop chance off of gravel through iron stiffened. So it's not great, and of course you need 4 of these per platinum ingot, but platinum pickaxes can break obsidian. But the Igneous Extruder is another option, and thermal machines really aren't expensive for us. But to reasonably do this, we're going to need to set up a surplus system for making lava. Now, going through the squeezer with blaze powder is all well and good, and that's probably what we're going to be doing, even though, what's it take for this? It does take hardened glass, which isn't really a big deal. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll start off there, and to do this, we're going to need to get ourselves some hardened glass. Now, I was planning on making a bunch of this today, and we will be here in a little bit. That's why our system for processing ores, it might be a 2-part episode, because we do have a little bit of work to get up to where we can actually begin our ore automation, because we need, really ideally, we need to get up to where we can get item conduits of some sort. We're going to be going with item ducts. But to do this, we're going to need a couple, and this is going to make 4 per. Okay, that's great. And I mean, really, we could do it because we don't need that much of it. I tell you what, yeah, we're going to wait. We will be automating lava, but it's not, I don't know that it's really necessary, because I don't need that many item ducts right this second, truth be told, to get this underway. And if we go ahead and push for the automatic metals, it's just going to pay off a lot more than just automatic lava. We're pushing for that first. So yeah, so what we're going to do, first up for the pulverized obsidian, and let me grab our squeezer. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and run this through the pulverizer, get that broken down because we're going to need it. And then our Igneous Extruder, let's go ahead, we're just going to set this up here. I know it's like covered up by stuff, but that's alright. Alright, so our Igneous Extruder, we're going to need to first up set this to obsidian, and then we're going to need to get ourselves a bucket of water and a bucket of lava. We'll go ahead and set this up. Because see, we're not actually going to need all that much, because every piece of obsidian that we get is going to craft us, like, let me see. Well, it's going to craft us 2. We'll be doing this method for right now, I think. Induction Smelter is actually very doable. If we wanted to bypass the need for having the pyrotheum. Yeah, I'll probably actually make one of these, in fact. Because why not? But we're going to go ahead and get our obsidian. But our item ducts are only going to be 10 and hardened glass for 6. So I think we'll be okay on that. Okay, so there's our 1,000 millibuckets of lava. And then we're going to go ahead and pop over Igneous Extruder, dump that into there. So there we go. And then let me pop back over. Let me grab our lava, and we'll dump this then into the Igneous Extruder. That's going to start running, and we're going to get our very first piece of obsidian. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, let me see, can you run this through the manufactory? You can, and you get 4. Might be faster that way, I don't know. It's probably about the same as the pulverizer. Sometimes the manufactory is like super fast, and you can do speed upgrades in this. These machines can get really crazy fast, but alright, so we're going to let that change over, and then we'll be able to make 2 of our hardened glass, which will definitely get us started, if not be enough. So let's turn our attention over to the Induction Smelter. Let me get this stuff together real quick. And there's our 4 pulverized obsidian, so we're going to go ahead and grab that. Okay, so there's the stuff for our Induction Smelter. So there's that. Let me go ahead and throw that in there. I made a bit extra invar because we're going to be needing it. I'll just toss that in. clear that out, and now for the, let's see, I think it's lead. Yeah, it's lead dust. Lead grit should work just as well. Let's go ahead and remove that. Throw that in. Looks like it's going to take a little bit to make our hardened glass. It's fine. And that's going to get us our item ducts. That and a little bit of tin. So, super cheap. So now what we're going to do is let's turn our attention over to this. Now we're going to be using this room here. Let me actually pull this up. This room. Actually, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pull this up. And let's pop back out. Let's grab this. I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab all of this. I got enough space. And I'm just going to put this stuff away for right now, because I don't think we're going to be using it. Okay, so what this room is going to be in due time is kind of a subsection of what's going to be our refined storage network. And I think what we're going to do is we are going to have an area here, and this is going to feed then basically straight into our refined storage system. But we're going to put down a small compact machine in here. Pop inside of this. We're going to start kind of building these into each other like this. And this is going to be the first of what's probably going to end up being a fair few of our automatic ore systems. So we're going to go ahead and just put this in. The bottom side should be our leadstone flux duct, which it is. And we're going to run it out from there. And the way that we're going to do this, we're going to set up a series of auto clickers. And we're going to have them, actually I'll tell you what, we're going to have them just set up right along down here. And we're going to set all these up to be left click, left click, left click, and left click. Like that. And then we're going to have ourselves a vacuumulator that sets probably right here. And it's just going to collect all the items from these auto clickers. Now let's actually move it, because eventually I think we're going to have this whole wall section here being auto clickers, and we'll have some additional compact machines that have our power systems that run it. But we're going to do our vacuumulator here. We'll go ahead and just throw that back in there. And then since we're going to do that, let's go ahead and just move this over a little bit to, say, here. And we're going to go ahead and run some leadstone flux ducts down. And we're going to run this up. And yeah, see, that's how the little power systems are set up. Like a field one. When you spawn in, you're just spawning into the water, but that's how it's set up on the inside. I'm going to pop over to here. I'm going to pull up this auto clicker. And let me set our spawning area to here. Okay, so then what we're going to do is, let's set up this one as well. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and set this to like 1 click every 75 ticks. Or 50 ticks. That's 5 RF per tick. Yeah, let's go 50 ticks. I think. Yeah, we're going to set it as a 2. It's not the fastest thing, and later on we will speed this up a bit. But for the time being, having 5 of these running, constantly producing resources without it needing a demand is going to be alright for us. Then we'll speed it up progressively as we go. So we've got that in place. Now the next thing that I want to do is let's cover the... Well, I'll tell you what. Let me get the item ducts first up. Because we are going to need these. So if we take a look here, there's our 2 hardened glass. Now what I want to do is, let's see, those item ducts will go out. I tell you what, let's go ahead and set up the sequential fabricators. We'll go ahead and get these in place. So the way these are going to be set up is, I guess we're going to have them set up like this, just right down along through here. And then what we're going to do is auto outputs enabled, and we're going to say on the bottom side is where we're going to be auto outputting from. And I'm going to need to make 1 more of these. That's fine. 4 for right now will be alright. And let's go ahead and just run our flux ducts over. Okay, so we're going to have that there. It's going to be a little bit cluttered, but that's okay. It is what it is. And we are going to run item ducts here. Okay, so there's that. And the next thing, which I made these, but I don't know if I'm going to end up using them for this. The way originally I had it, I was thinking about doing it. I was going to use it, but I don't know. Now that I'm setting it up, it's kind of one of those things like, I don't know that I'm really going to have the space for it. So probably not. Probably not. And technically I could do another set, like another set of sequential fabricators on top, and then another set of auto clickers above that, and that would work. I may end up doing that long term. Okay, what we're going to do, let me get some paper, and we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a filter. And let's get ourselves our set of filters. Now what we're going to do is in here we're going to set up a chest, and I tell you what, let me steal one of these strong boxes. We're going to put a strong box on top of our vacuumulator, and we're going to say that you auto output to the top side, which is just going to put the things into the strong box here. And then we are going to set up another chest that sits right there. And we're going to put in an item duct line that comes out there. And this item duct line is going to have a filter right there. Oh, but these filters only store 3 items. It's not great. How high of a filter can I go? I can do reinforced. I could do signal. Oh, but I'd have to make a machine combo to do that. See, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things at the moment that I would want to filter. I can just upgrade these though. I know I'm not going to be able to pull this off because that's going to take Resonant Ender. Tell you what, for right now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to upgrade these to Hardened, which I think is going to be fine for us. We'll go ahead and open this up. We're going to say you can accept andesite pebbles, diorite pebbles, granite pebbles. This is going to be a white list. Stone pebbles, flint, redstone, and then we're going to go ahead and just put on another item duct line right there. This is going to have a filter on it as well. We're going to say that you accept dirt, nether brick, and whitelist that. Leave prevent oversending on, and that should be good for us. And that way everything goes into this chest. Actually, let me do it from the bottom side though. Whitelist. There we go. And we're going to dump all this stuff into there. And then we need to make ourselves a servo. And we're going to put that on, and we're going to say ignore redstone. So we should start sending out those items. It's not going to be super fast, but bear in mind that these aren't set to run super fast either. Might actually even... Yeah, tell you what, let me pull this off. And we're going to go ahead and upgrade these to Hardened Servos. A little bit faster that way. Put that in. Ignore redstone. And then it can start sending those items to the chest. Now the purpose of this is just a buffer chest. And this is for things that aren't going to go to the furnaces. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 redstone furnaces. We are going to set these up. Let's go here and here. And this is going to be really cramped in here. That's fine. We're not worried about the way that this looks, to be honest. No, let's actually go there and there. So there's our 2 redstone furnaces, and we got our power running to them. Let's go ahead and set up item duct there, item duct there. Run this across, and do that. And this means pretty much any... I don't know why I'm grabbing it though. Oh, I know why, because we don't have anywhere where it can go. We're going to set this to input from the bottom. Input from the bottom. Now this silver grit, it can't go to either of these. These are going to be closer points, so it's going to prioritize that. And it's going to send it up to the redstone furnace. And another nice thing is the redstone furnace cannot accept, for example, it can't accept gravel. It can't accept a squeezer. It can't accept anything that it cannot smelt. So it's not going to pull out, you know, even if these filters weren't here, it's not going to pull out anything that it can't accept. And I also have to put in gravel dust. Almost forgot about that. So metals, things that can be smelted, will automatically go up to the redstone furnace. And then what we're going to do is put in, let's see, how do I want to do this? Probably going to make more item ducts. Actually, I'll tell you what, let me just move this. Let me move this. And instead, let's actually put this a bit farther back. We're going to put it like here. Have that come off, that come off. Yeah. This is going to work out better for us. And we're going to say that the tops, well, I'll do the top side in just a second, but the top side is going to be output for the item ducts. Now, right now, I do need to make more item ducts, so I'm going to do that real quick. Which does mean that I'm going to have to squeeze it again, but I actually think this will be, maybe be the last time that we have to do this. So we'll go ahead and dump that in there, get that running, get us some more obsidian. Okay, so let's get some more item ducts. Let's pop in, and what we're going to do, we're going to run these together right there. These are going to come down like that. We're going to break off that connection, break off that connection. And then we're going to say that you output at the top. And then we're going to say those ingots come down into this chest. There we go. Okay, so this is like our output chest for everything that's going on in this room. So any metals that come in automatically get smelted and sent out. Things like dirt and stone, pebbles and stuff automatically just get sent out. We're going to be handling the sequential fabricators in just a little bit. It's actually probably going to be a part 2. I was just seeing, you know, we've actually got quite a bit of footage. And this is going to be a pretty decent. It'll be our first big setup that we've got going on. But now what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves a tunnel. Actually, might have one lying around. I got to check real quick. I certainly do. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a tunnel. We're just going to have it sitting like right there. I'm actually going to set our spawn in point here. And this tunnel, we're just going to run an item duct right across like that. And then that's on the downside. I'll leave it there for right now. Let's see, because I'm going to move this around. We're going to grab this small compact machine and just move it up like that. So we're going to say that this is going to be the west side. So let's pop back in to here. We're going to set this tunnel up to be the west side. Okay. Or let's actually, no, let's actually set it to the downside. Let's leave it as the downside. And we're going to pop over, and we are actually going to steal this strong box, move it over here, and we're going to set an item duct there. And then if we pop inside of here, and we put in our hardened servo, whoops. We put in our hardened servo here, and say ignore redstone. You'll see the items start getting pumped out, and if we come out here, we should see those items then traveling down into this strong box. Great. Okay, so this strong box is going to be a buffer kind of on this side. I like to have a buffer so I can see kind of what's going on from this side without having to pop into the compact machine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run item ducts like this. And just start running these around. And we're going to put in caches. Here, 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 and there. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to make another servo real quick. And I'm just going to go ahead and make hardened servos. And we're just going to put this on right there. And before we activate it, what I would like to do is let's grab like redstone, and we're going to slot this in. And then we're going to shift right click, shift right click to lock it. And then we're going to grab like flint, and we're going to shift right click to lock it. Let's grab uranium, and then let's grab silver. And shift right click, shift right click. Okay, and so then if we were to have these items inside of here, and we turn on the servo, ignore redstone, we should see the items start getting pulled out then and sent into their respective places. So there we go. And we're going to fill this out. Now, one thing is dirt, granite, diorite. This stuff, I'm probably just going to void it out, I think. Because, like, yeah, we can make diorite, but we can also do that through the Igneous Extruder, and we can set it up not to consume water. Are we really going to use this stuff? Probably not. It's just we're sending it here, and then we're going to void it into a trash can from there. So we'll probably have nether quartz, gravel dust. We're just going to void this. The reason being, we're actually going to be setting up automatic production for stone and gravel and sand and so on. So I don't think producing it here is that valuable. Now dirt, we're probably just going to set up an automatic compost system. I've shown these off a number of times. Really easy way is something like sugarcane or something like cactus. Easy to automatically create infinite dirt that way. So we'll probably be setting up one of these before too long. So I don't know if really getting the dirt dust. Not to mention it only works on occasion because it's a bare hand thing and it stops working shortly after you log on. It just produces it for a few seconds after you first log into the game. So we'll probably void that as well. Nether quartz, of course, we will slot. And the remaining ingots we will slot. Now I've got to make more caches. And we're also going to be doing some overflow protection stuff for this as well. Let me pop in. Let me go ahead and just toss that in. But let me get some servos. And let me get a couple more caches. And we're going to go ahead. And these are going to go all the way to the ceiling. Yep, it's sending over nether quartz. That's fine. Put in a cache there. That one's going to have iron. And this is all going to be just plugged up to our refined storage network. Is the way that we're going to handle this. And this is just going to be kind of a little system for automatically producing metals, and we're probably going to have a couple of these as we move forward, as we have more pickaxes and things. This is just the first part. We're going to finish it up next episode. We just don't have the time for it this episode. I don't know that it's going to take all of the next episode. I highly doubt it, because we don't have that much more to go, but looking at the footage, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode. So I'm going to get some more item ducts made and some more caches set up for our metals. And then next episode, whenever we come back, we're just going to finish this off, which is going to be kind of the system that automatically handles everything for us. You know, as far as the pickaxes go and as far as moving things around in regards to the pickaxes and the auto clickers, because we are going to need to automatically handle those. So next episode we will tackle that and get that set up pretty quickly, and then we'll switch gears. We may start looking into setting up automatic cobblestone. Might be our next thing that we start on next episode, but we'll see how things go. So we'll finish this off then. But anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point, so I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out, and I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, I'll see you guys then.